I'm your host, Chris Kupta, and today our guest is head softball coach Frank Wilkins. Coach Wilkins has won 3 Skyway Conference titles and has been to the region championship game twice? 3 times?
3 times.
3 times in his, now in his 8th season here at Prairie State. In 8 seasons, he's compiled an overall record of 155 wins and 99 losses. That's good for a .611 winning percentage. Coach Frank, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you very much for having me, Chris.
All right. Coach, you guys opened up your season a couple weeks ago at the Rosemont Dome tournament. Went up against 2 of the top teams in the region and in the country, actually. It's kind of a baptism of fire. 2 really strong opponents, high-quality opponents right off the bat. What were some of the positives that you saw in those 2 games up there?
You said that very lightly, Chris. We jumped right into the oven.
Yeah.
I mean, when you face the number 1 team in the country for the last 5 years, Rock Valley, I mean, you cannot play a better team. You know what I'm saying? They totally smoked us. In 20-some years of college softball, I have never seen a team hit the ball as hard as they did. They were hitting 1 bouncers off 235-foot home run fences and stuff. They were totally awesome. And then Madison is always ranked in the top 10 in the country. So to start off a season, we have a very young team and stuff like that. To start off a season with those 2 is like an eye-opener. But the good thing about that, there's only one way for us to go, is upward.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, when you play 2 teams like that, it's particularly with a young team like we have this year, how much does that help when, you can kind of say, well, this is among the best that you're going to see? And you're not going to see a lot, much more better than what you've seen here.
And what I told the girls afterwards is, hey, you only have one way to go is upward. Mm-hmm. But I said, see Rock Valley? That's where we want to be. We want to be, like I said, before COVID, we were one of the top teams in the country and stuff. And COVID has put a little roadblock for us and stuff like that. But like I said, we plan to turn it around. And that's our as I would say, that is what we're looking for, is to be the top team in the country.
Mm-hmm. Now, coming off a year in 2021 where the injuries really took their toll throughout the year, and especially down the stretch at the end there, what are your expectations for this year with this group coming in?
We are starting with some injuries again. We got the injury bug already. But like I said, this is a young group. But they got something, like I said, 2012 I went to the College World Series and finished 3rd in the country. But that wasn't one of the best teams that I ever had. This team is a little like that. They got a lot of heart and desire. They love playing the game of softball, and they have the desire to play the game of softball. And sometimes that's better than having the ability and stuff like that. So they have fun out there. They're working hard out there. We're practicing hard out there. And like I said, we got a good group. We just got to get everybody healthy and, get ready to rock and roll.
College softball this season has adopted and college baseball as well, have adopted a new bat testing rule for this year. First year that it's been used at this level. And just what are your opinions, some of your thoughts on that? As we go into that. And was it necessary for one, and just what are your general thoughts on it?
Well, as a coach, we think it's more of a hassle than anything. But nowadays, with the compression on these bats if I was in charge of NCAA or even high school softball, I think it should be mandatory that every third baseman and pitcher wear a mask and stuff like that. Because the compression of the softball of these bats and you can make them even more by rolling them and stuff, which is illegal, but you might have somebody that does that, or father might do it. So they are checking every bat before a game and for compression and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm 7 years old and I can grab one of these bats and hit it out of the park. And can you imagine a solid athlete, facing a pitcher, how hard that ball is going to be jumping off that bat? So it is very time consuming, but I understand why they're doing it, because, hey, nowadays I've seen in the years 3 pitchers get a line drive in the face. And like I said, it's not a pretty sight.
You've coached at the 4-year level. You were a longtime head coach at St. John, the now defunct St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Went to the college, Division II College World Series there. Obviously, you've been our head coach here for 8 years now. What are the biggest differences between the game at the NCAA 4-year level and junior college?
Well, the main difference is size and speed and strength. Okay, you go to a 4-year school, they're working out 4 days, 5 days a week, lifting, running, and stuff like that. I mean, you at a JUCO level, you're doing some of that too. But a lot of schools do not have the ability and means and the trainers to do all that stuff. So at the higher level, it's the speed of the game. The players are faster. Some players are fast. The players are stronger and stuff like that. And the quality of pitching. I mean, you have pitchers in the NCAA. When I went to World Series, my both pitchers were 6'3" and brought the ball 65 to 66 miles per hour. You got pitchers popping 70 in D1 and D2. In the lower levels like JUCO, you probably have a pitcher. If you get somebody popping it in the low 60s, hey, that's pretty good and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So that is the main thing. And like I said, they have more time. And, when you're at a JUCO where people are, they're living at home, coming to school and stuff like that, they're definitely saving a ton of money by doing that. Mm-hmm. But we don't have them every day like we would like to have them. We're making sure that they're in the weight room for 2 hours in the morning, going to classes, and then, going to softball and stuff like that. And, in a way, too, it's good that it's not as committed, and so they still, can focus on their education, still play the game they love, and like I said, and have some fun.
How much we've seen the pandemic affect college sports throughout every different level, from junior college, Division III, Division I. How much has it affected our softball program here, just from what you've seen on a daily basis for 2 years now?
Man.
I know it's a great topic.
It's a real nice topic. The problem with that is this, you have the country divided both ways on that. You have, the believing in the shots, not believing in the shots. And like I said, I've had COVID. I'm 70 years old. And to me, and I have the shots in a booster and stuff. And if I didn't go take a test, I would never know I had it and stuff. But then, in the other part of the world, other people that I know have died from it. So, it's very, it's a very touchy subject and stuff like that. And it's a very political subject too, which two things I don't talk about is religion and politics and stuff like that.
That's a good way to live your life.
Yes, but like I said, in a way too, everybody is hesitant to, nowadays, it's very easy to blame COVID for everything and stuff like that. That's the very easiest scapegoat and stuff like that. But like I said, it's nice now that we're hoping that we're going in the right direction, back to normality, where everything seems to be going back to the way it was. And like I said, but it was tough. It's been tough even at the college level or anything for the last 3 years. And like I said, now, where it seems like things are getting back to normal and stuff, and knock on wood, and hopefully it continues that direction and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's been very tough on athletics. It really has.
Yeah, for sure. Your teams are typically really strong offensively. We've led the nation in hitting
we've always
twice,
I
believe.
We've been in the top, in the 8 years, we've been in the top 10, 5 of my eight years in the top 10 in the country and stuff. And I believe in that is every practice that we practice an hour hitting every day and stuff. And as a coach, you always see pitchers throwing on the sideline, but you don't always see batters batting all the time in the practice on hitting. And I believe in hitting, and more hitting. We break into stations. We have probably 6 to 7 different stations, and we do different drills to work on different things, from hitting the outside pitch, working on change-ups, loading and exploding and stuff like that. And two is I try to focus too is every player's weakness, what weakness they have in their swing, and have a drill or two where they work on their weakness and try to make it better and stuff like that. So we do a ton of hitting. I mean, I would, by the time you get to college, if you can't catch or throw a ball, you have no business being here.
Probably not going to happen.
You have no business being here if you can't catch or throw and stuff like that. So, like I said, main thing in college, yes, you got to work on defense and you got to work on, throwing and all that stuff in situations and stuff. But, the thing in the game is two things in the college level. You got pitching and hitting. Your pitcher's got to keep you in the game, and your hitting's got to, like you said, score some runs for you and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's why I think that hitting is very important at any level of, softball, from the lower ages to all the way to the D1 schools and stuff like that.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier about how that this is a young team. A lot of newcomers on this team, a lot of freshmen. Who are, of the first-year players, who are some names that could really, put together a good year and that fans should keep an eye on?
I mean, like I said, we got a very solid group of freshmen coming in this year. We had one that, in high school she was just an average player, but she works her butt off, and that is Mari Serratos and stuff. And she's going to be doing it, my number 2 pitcher, and play infield, outfield. I mean, she's a very solid kid and stuff like that. I had a Miranda Goldstein, that was should have been my third baseman, but in the fall season she tore her ACL, so that put a big roadblock. I have another solid player too, Gabby Fredrickson, that is going to be playing from the Lake Central school system, that is going to play a lot of outfield, third base, first base, and catchy. So she's very versatile for me. And then I got one girl from this area here that, like I said, is she never played high school ball, and her name is Sophie Capico. And I mean, I'm all at her just watching her play there. She's a solid ball player, and I mean, she does it all and stuff. And she's going to be my third baseman and stuff like that. And then I got one that is the sweetest girl in the world. She's going to be my center fielder. She's my leadoff batter, and all she does is smile, catch the ball, every ball, anything hit an outfit she catches, and she gets on base. And that's Morgan Slavasek. I'm going to butcher that name up. I don't even try to say her last name. But, I mean, she's the greatest kid in the world. And I mean, she's going to be great things. And like I said, I have a good group of freshmen here and stuff. And I got a couple of other new ones, too. Jada McCaskill and Jada Reddings. They just joined the team to fill in some void. And then I have one that is injured, too. Haley Wheeler and stuff like that. So, like I said, we got a good group. They get along good, and they practice hard. So I'm very excited for them. And then, like I said, not just this year, for the upcoming year too, for next year too and stuff. We have a good base for next year already set up with those young players we have.
Before the pandemic, our program really was the gold standard in the Skyway Conference. Went at least 2 years without losing a conference game. Then COVID came and turned everything upside down. So since then, the Skyway, I think, has kind of been kind of a hodgepodge, and just anybody's it's up for grabs in a way. How does the conference look this year? Is it starting to settle back more?
Yes. Well, and like I said, the past years, it was always us and Wabanzi. Mm-hmm. It was us and Wabanzi for the last 5-6 years. Yeah. And now McHenry has stepped up and done a very good job and stuff like that. So now, like I said, there's quite a few teams that are, we have here is like ourselves, Wabanzi, McHenry, Moraine Valley doing a good job. And then you got some teams that are, they're struggling, but they're working forward, like your Oaktons and Morton. Morton is a vastly improved team, too, that they've really turned around. So, like I said, our conference has really upgraded the quality of softball and stuff like that.
Now, we talked about Rock Valley and Madison being not only the two of the top teams in the country, but, obviously our region as well. take those two teams out, who are some of the other really tough clubs in
our area here? The top clubs in our area, of course, tried. They made it to the College World Series last year.
Sure.
Kankakee is always a solid hell. When Mr. Clark, Coach Clark was there, I think they went to the College World Series 20-some years in a row and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's a record that's a record that nobody's ever going to beat and stuff like that. South Sum always brings a top-notch program, and McHenry is turning around. So, like I said, there's no easy victories anymore now in JUCOs in our area and just in the Midwest nowadays and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, Coach.
Wait a minute now.
Do you have something else?
Yes,
you want
I
to add anything else?
Yes,
All right.
I don't want my upperclassmen killing me, but we talked
about the upperclassmen.
Yes,
then.
And that's the thing that you got to realize. These girls, I have 4 girls that have been here for 3 years and stuff. They've gone through the COVID of where their freshman season was, totally, week before we started playing, it was canceled. Last year we played, but it was crazy and stuff with games. You never know what game was going to be canceled and stuff. And I really have 4 great returning players that are the heart and soul of my team. They are team leaders. They're there for the players and stuff like that. And Bethany Wise, she's going to be my shortstop. She's been there for my shortstop for the last 3 years. She's a solid hitter, a heavy player, and as I call her, she's my team mom. She's always worries about everybody and seeing everybody's okay and stuff like that. And then her twin sister now is Christina Adney. I mean, she's going to be my catcher and stuff like that. And she's really turning and worked hard at hitting and she's going to be a very good power hitter for me. And she does a good job of catching our pitchers and stuff like that. So she does an excellent job. So, and so like that. And then my next thing is probably one of my top players on the team, and she's out for a week or so. Is Brooke DeSoe, my pitcher and stuff like that. I mean, she took a foul ball in the nose the other day against Lake County, and she stayed in there and finished her bats and even got a single and stuff. And then we took her out again the next inning and stuff like that to check her out, and she does have a couple higher line fractures in her nose, so she's got to be out for a week or so. But I mean, she's my number 1 pitcher by far, and I mean, she's a stud out there, and she works her butt off. And then I got another player. My last returning player is Angelina Green. I mean, I don't know how to talk about this player because she astonishes me every time. I mean, she's the only time she'll pick up a bat or softball is at practice. I mean, and she is a typical, you talk to her, you yell her or do anything, she just looks at you, shakes her head, yeah. But I mean, I can put her at first base, I can put her second base, put her in outfield, and she does an excellent job. I mean, I just watch her and I smile, and then you put her in the batting order, and all she does is hit. And I mean, she just hits to the hits, and she just stands there smiling and stuff. And she's just a great group of upperclassmen. So I'm very proud of them and stuff like that. And like I said, we started the season and stuff, and I can't wait till we get going and get everybody well and see what goes out there. Lay it out in the field and give it our all and stuff like that. So I do appreciate having me here, Chris. I know that I'm very excited about the future. Over here at Prairie State, they've had some changes, and like I said, and I want to thank you for all the years you've been here, helping our softball program and stuff like that, and stuff like that. You've done a great job and stuff, and so yes, so let's get ready to rock and roll for the softball.
All right. When's the home opener? Home opener is
next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. It'll be next Wednesday. Who's that? I'm trying to think now. I'm going brain dead.
I did a terrible job.
Joliet.
I did not have that ready. Okay, yeah,
Joliet next Wednesday here and stuff like that.
All right.
Oh, you got other things on your mind, Chris. We're not the only sport around. You can't remember them all.
A little bit
but thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me today.
Absolutely, Coach. Thank you for being here.
All right.
All right.